All right, Tammy, I have 7:02.
7:02. Alrighty then.
We will call the meeting to order. Previous minutes, did everybody have a chance to look over the previous minutes that were sent via email?
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
unmuted? Okay. Did anybody have any corrections or concerns with what was there?
No, I was fine with everything.
If not, I would entertain a motion.
I would make a motion that we accept the July 11th select board meeting minutes as written.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to accept the previous minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Reports and warrants are going around to be signed. Finances.
You done with this? That's
Do we want to go over this later?
Which
This
one?
part?
We do that, we have it down here, Josh.
Okay, perfect. Alright.
Set, board business C.
Okay, yep. Alright, so finances, we've asked Maria to come in once a month, every other meeting, and today is not that meeting, so. Is there any others on that section? Okay, visitors. Tammy, did you receive a call or any notifications for this week? I know you did for our last meeting.
Yeah.
No.
Kathy did, but no, we haven't gotten anything.
Nothing, okay. So we will table visitors, and if he shows up or they show up, we will work them in ASAP. That brings us to Mac. We're cruising today, Mac.
I see that.
5 minutes in and we got you on the docket.
I'll slow us down. Oh,
I have one of those, I believe. It's just I have the Pike one. I don't know why.
Because I printed that one off earlier. This is a permit to work in the right of way for Vermont Electric Co-op on the King Road. It's the backside of a pole, really out of reach, but they wanted to make sure things were all fancy and legal. They got a
On
picture
King
of it.
Road, you said?
King Road, yes.
And who was the address?
It's Jane's. I don't know what the address is. It's on there somewhere.
962 King Road. So all they want is us to sign this saying that they have permission to work within the right of way.
Yeah.
Okay. Approved by authorities from the select board of the town of Bakersfield. Wait on. You know, if they really wanted this done quicker, they could have had it all filled out for me.
Well, all you gotta do is sign your name.
I found that if you don't fill this out,
It shows up again next meeting.
Yeah.
I'll sign it. She can back.
well, not that necessarily comes back, but next thing you know, they're working on a road that you didn't give them permission on. They're like, we got this blank sheet that says we can work anyway.
I'll hand it to the co-op. They're very good about permission before they do things.
Tammy,
Yep.
are you a
notary?
notary?
I am.
Do you have your stamp with you? This needs to be notarized.
Really?
You know, I think I might.
The witness thereof the undersigned has set his or her hands on the seal this day of.
I got it.
We'll let you off for having no pen, but you're still gonna be docked for
Alright.
being
I
signed.
think she gets extra mitigating points for having the stamp.
Tammy,
Well, yeah, but she was late and her pen quit.
Tammy, so we're all signing this paper,
Okay,
and it will then need to be
notarized.
notarized. Matt, you also have to
Know
sign
you
it.
all who are, you know you all are who you are.
Is this the part where you're asking us if we are signing
We're
with our
done. I'm
free?
not sure which
Sign under your own
personality is
volition.
presenting itself today for me, so.
Which personality?
Got multiple apparently.
An access permit for Mr. Brandon.
And Cecile. Matt, you actually have to sign that also.
all I was gonna say is do with it as you want. The permit is one of those after the fact deals.
Okay,
So
where's,
just past Skips,
Just past Skips. Oh, okay, the one that goes off to the right there?
left. The new, you see
Down the hill?
the new, yeah, before you go down the hill. It's before their camp,
Okay,
driveway on the left.
okay.
Yeah, that's where that is. So
And the purpose?
to
Is there-
get a building permit for the earth they've already put up.
Okay,
That one, okay, now I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. So I
alright.
know we held up Mr. Reed, didn't sign that one, but, and then there was the other one because they did the job before but I don't know if we ever find anybody.
We haven't, since I've been here, find anybody for roads that have been put in ahead of time.
No, if they put the road in and then ask for a permit, we do have the ability to ask for double the permit fee.
As long as they're in compliance.
Yes. as long as they-
Okay, have you,
That one, he's gone above and beyond. It tips off the road. I mean, the water, there's no way the water can come into the road.
culvert
And
required?
No,
No,
but he put a culvert in. He put like a 2-foot culvert across.
Wow.
so there's a culvert and
And it
it
takes,
tips away.
Yeah.
So there's like zero chance that that'll affect our roads in a negative way. Okay,
unless he stop trusting, you know?
well.
This is for you.
Thank you.
Actually, you don't need to.
I don't see any problem with it, do you?
Oh, this is where
And we're signing the first one, correct?
You're supposed to
You know,
know.
where we may get entangled with a zoning matter though,
For
so. I will not bring that.
on the next day.
I was gonna say, that is not
Not,
necessarily,
has nothing to
that's
do
this
with this
board,
stuff.
yeah.
not board business, not
Um,
on the road.
Application approved to proceed, issued on 7/25. So you don't see any other restrictions that we would need
do
to
you
document
take
there?
that back? No? Or do I?
Which one is it?
I would assume they'd like a copy of it.
Okay.
Other than that,
Are you gonna give them the copy or do you want me to mail it?
leave it and Kathy will do what I think she usually does something with them. I'm not really sure.
Alright.
Just
You good?
right full of them today, yep. I think.
Okay.
Okay,
Mike,
okay,
Hutchins,
okay.
Whitcomb.
Just an aside, Tammy, would you change the access permit so that there is 5 slots for
Signatures.
signatures?
Sure.
I mean,
You'll see what he's talking about.
it's a small thing, but
There's only 3.
Oh, okay. So you're just signing them now, but you wanna change in the future?
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
yeah.
Please and thank you.
So this is your done,
Thank you,
done,
Tammy.
Correct,
You're
done in
welcome.
June.
yep,
He said it's gonna be probably $2 a ton higher than that.
okay,
Okay, and this is his price figuring this amount of tonnage.
okay.
Okay,
So then, apples
This
to
is-
apples, we're,
there's your price.
okay.
In July.
This is now,
This
this
is
is
now.
now, this is plus,
Plus 2 for August.
Mac, what are they providing again?
Blacktop.
Okay.
yep,
Shimmin' shimmin' over like Post Road,
Ready?
Eastburg line.
Is it?
Circle.
Two,
About Hasseltons.
okay.
Okay, so this is probably the more accurate tonnage, so.
So this will be significantly lower,
Yes,
okay,
I believe.
alright,
And then this is the last one.
okay. Okay. Okay.
Is the bidding process closed?
I need 3 bids, that's all I need
Okay.
for the grant, so.
I-
I would-
What's when is your time frame to get this project
I-
started?
We need to officially close the bidding before we discuss numbers in public.
Absolutely.
Need a
Technically,
motion for that?
Yes.
technically, we didn't do bids, I just asked for quotes,
Okay.
so I don't.
Now, how many
We
companies did you
still
ask?
need to close that.
How many did I ask? I asked 4.
Okay.
One of them I played phone tag with 3 times. She kept calling me, I kept calling her, and she never got back to me after the last call, but
Okay.
these are,
So we could technically, as a technicality, we could say that we have received all the bids that were solicited
yeah,
and closed the bidding process with a
Absolutely.
motion.
But once we mention even one number,
Yep.
that's what I'm saying.
legally and morally, we can't accept any other bids.
I would 100% agree.
That's why I don't know if you want to talk numbers. Yeah,
I think what we would have to do first is close the bid.
Right, okay.
I'll make a motion that we close the bidding process for this paving job on
Boston.
Boston Post Road.
I would second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor of closing the bid process for the paving on Boston Post Road signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Now, this tonnage is right, or is closer, is what you're saying,
Yes,
correct?
and
Okay.
so you're going by his number.
Okay, so his tonnage, his price plus 2.
Yeah, I mean, it can be more tonnage, it could be less tonnage, like you said.
Okay,
It's hard on the
But
post.
what
road.
he's saying is it's not gonna be another 300 ton.
Right.
Boom.
Oh, yeah, well, if you go up and look from Jarvis's down through the Enosburg line, it's probably rutted that deep, 4 spots. But they're figuring 3/4 of an inch to an inch shim. They could cheat and put more down there and less where they don't need it back towards the other end.
Like up on top of the hill above the
Yeah,
farm.
where it's not quite so bad, but
Okay, so I think it's safe to say,
Now, who are the 3 bidders?
uh,
What time?
Hutchins, Whitcomb, and Pike.
now, John, I know you can't see this down there. I can pass
Can't
them.
either, so.
Okay. Do you,
Why don't you
would you like
just
numbers?
summarize for
Okay.
us, please?
So what we have is we have the 3 bids. One from Whitcomb, their unit price, and they're bidding ton of hot top
In place.
in place. So they're bidding $110 per ton for 1,596 tons for a total of $175,560. Hutchins has also submitted a bid for 1,680 ton at $94.50 a ton for a grand total of 158,760.
Okay.
Okay, so you can see where that price is there. And then Pike submitted a bid, and according to
Right
Mac,
on top of each other, basically, yeah.
according to Mac, Pike
High on volume.
is busy, and he did it based off of he didn't come up and measure it.
Right,
So he's saying that Hutchins tonnage is more accurate,
right.
is because he went up and did the
The
measurements.
Pike representative said
The
this.
Pike representative,
Okay.
correct?
Yes.
So he's saying he would be closer to that tonnage, and his price was in June $92.44, but it has gone up $2 a ton.
So
So
it's
he's at
96 bucks.
94.22 or 94.44.
Thanks.
So he would be
Yeah. This one was the
Correct.
high.
That's the high.
What was the tonnage for
Yeah.
Whitcomb?
Whitcomb was
94,
1,500 roughly, plus or
1596.
minus. You could put
1596.
96,
Ton at 96 a ton?
1596.
But bottom line, the volume,
110 tons.
the volume may or may not change, but the price won't.
Right,
Right. So I think realistically, we're looking at these 2 bids. If anybody
That's the thing. They
argues
all
that
of them
with
said
me,
this, all of them said the same thing. Don't go by tons because it could take more, it could take less.
Yeah.
Go by price per ton.
price
Yeah,
per ton.
I
All
agree.
3 of them agreed on that. 'Cause
So,
Was there a recommendation from the road commissioner?
exactly.
You've worked with all these guys before, so.
You need the mic up.
Um,
Sorry. Back towards you.
now,
I've never worked with, outside of out here, I've never worked with Hutchins. Outside of the little bit from here to Jeffersonville, I've never worked with Whitcomb. I've always had a hard time getting a price from Whitcomb. This time,
a little
There's
easier.
no, it was, he sent that in today.
I mean, I've worked with all three of them, but not in paving.
Right. And Pike we've worked with all the time.
I mean,
This- The only concern I have is how the road was done out here. I mean,
I think the
It
road
was-
was done good, as
Okay.
far as the paving goes. And the drainage seems good. I mean, but the drainage was state specs.
yeah.
I mean, they did have a couple of quirks when they were doing the,
Well, I feel like there's been some loose ends that weren't taken care of.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, granted, this job's pretty straightforward. It's not really like there's a lot of loose ends.
right.
But out of these two, which would you be more comfortable with?
Probably Pike for now.
Okay.
Hutchins is a they're not really new, but they're a newer company. Pike and Wickham have been doing this forever.
Pike's been doing it for, yeah.
I mean, we're literally talking 6 cents per ton difference.
Yeah. And
So, I mean-
actually, when he was telling me $2 a ton, that was August's price, because he'd have gotten August's price today. So Hutchins could actually be a little higher than that, because he was actually in
I mean,
July.
if you go with the numbers here, even if their tonnage is accurate, you're looking at a difference of $117.
Right.
We are not obligated to take the lowest bid.
Right.
We're
I mean, we'd-
obligated to take the lowest reasonable bid.
I mean, we'd still be taking the lowest bid going with Pike.
Yep.
But I mean, it's literally a difference of 6 cents a ton.
Yep.
If you feel more comfortable as the road commissioner, I would say that we go with Pike, or I would make a motion to accept Pike's bid and get on the calendar.
I'd second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
I would only say I'd find out who can do it first. I mean, it's so minimal and
They're
they're
all,
both equal.
they're all saying the same thing. Whitcomb is who knows when. Pike, they've got a crew actually in Franklin County right now, but they're both talking probably September-ish. I know Hutchins was talking September, somewhere. They were both.
Does it really make any difference as long as
As
they
long
get
as you
done
don't
this
go,
year?
as long as you don't go into October, later October when you start getting frost.
Right.
And the biggest problem there is if you could squeak it in between corn cutting and,
Ouch.
Yeah.
Jarvis's would
But we've always
fed
had
up
good
with that.
luck and we've talked to them and they usually do pretty good with us. Both those bids are doing an apron onto the Witch Cat Road, about where it is now. And both those bids are doing 6 feet or so aprons in front of the farm. So
Okay.
we don't have the
So you don't have the
crack
breakage.
off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
And
And that's figured
neither of these require anything from you. They come with their whole crew. They come with.
Right,
Okay.
yep.
That would.
Well,
that
the
would
shoulder work afterwards. We put the shoulder back down.
Okay.
The-
For both companies.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just seeing if there was anything, like if Hutchins
They-
said, well, we've got everything. We just need flaggers or
They-
we need extra trucks. Or,
They've never asked
nobody's.
before.
Okay. Call and see when their earliest is, but we have a motion, correct? We have a motion and a second to accept, the Pike Industry bid. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
I think you need to scribble on the bottom. I think there's a place for you to sign. And I will call him first thing in the morning and see what he's. Vera always, when we had these grants, always liked it better if it was closer to October. For the reason that tax money starts flowing in, and when you get $150,000, $60,000, $70,000 bill, sometimes you got excited.
Did you say there was
These
grant,
are projected for September, you said?
That's what we're hoping for, yes.
did you say there's grant money covering this?
Yes,
project?
yes.
This is
Town's very good for 20% of either cash or
You have the other bid down there.
it's going to be.
Okay.
We set money aside every year for the paving
Yep.
in anticipation that every 3-4 years we get one. So
Can't remember, how much do we set aside? Is that
10,000.
10,000?
Is there gonna be any paving involved in road path?
Yeah, just over the bridge.
But that's included in.
That is included, yes.
Okay. Yep.
She still
I didn't forget you.
Yes, it's really seconds.
So yes, there was some whispering, and what it was is Linda McCall is on, and she would like to speak when we're done with the roads. And, absolutely, Linda, we'll get you on in just a couple minutes here.
It's gonna be plus or minus, because
This is
like,
Pike, okay, so 158.
So Mac, was there anything else on the
I
roads?
spoke with Mike
Okay.
Montgomery,
Okay.
the mowing guy.
Yep.
Says he got a 40 horsepower tractor with the 14-foot reach.
He must have some awful counterbalances.
And that's what I
That was my thought. I've got a 50 horse Kubota and I'd hate to reach up 14 feet.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll be reaching 14 if he's going for that second pass, but he says he's done Albany and they're very pleased with him. He's doing 2 other towns now, and the only thing there was he wasn't gonna be able to get around till probably late August, possibly September or so.
Okay. And you said come?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Alright.
Do you anticipate the need of doing the first pass around again?
There's places. he
We'll
could- he could
discuss
do it
that
again.
when we get there.
He could either do it again, or he could actually go back a little further at some.
No, I don't want him doing that close pass. I mean, we're hiring him to do my personal opinion, we're hiring him to do where we can't reach.
Right, but I'm saying
If the
there-
close pass needs to be done again, we'll do it.
But there is some places that he could actually get back. You know, it's grass, there's absolutely no, we're not gonna go where it's not safe, you know, that's not an issue there.
So, and you have prioritized what roads he would be on?
I had not brought him in to talk yet.
No, but you know.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm figuring East Bakersfield, depending upon how the thing goes, you know, East Bakersfield from Post to the Witch Cat, East Bakersfield and Joyle and Witch Cat are right there, so I'm thinking
Okay.
those.
So
probably-
that block.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll see where we go from there.
And will you guys be going ahead of him and removing large items? Because I did notice I've been walking in the mornings, and there's some places where
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of, we'll have to figure out what we can and can't cut.
Yeah.
Because.
Recording in progress.
Zoom dropped out again.
okay.
Because it's hard to say, you know, he said at least 2 inch, so.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah. No, I mean,
And
obviously
the
he's
thing
not
is-
going to be cutting stuff the size of that bottle, but
it's almost easier to let him go and do what he's doing and then go back afterwards and cut it back, and then next year, or if it's a 2-year or 3-year cycle, he can go back that much more and just, you know, when
Okay.
things start coming back up the size of your thumb, figure it out there.
Okay.
Even if it's, because he did speak about buying possibly a 75 horsepower tractor in the future, so.
Yep.
I'm assuming he might expand.
Okay.
Other than that, we had a closeout meeting with FEMA.
Excellent. Or not excellent.
No.
Well,
We're in a final stage, but it wasn't what we anticipated.
we're not dealing with FEMA anymore, we're dealing with the state, and we gotta sign some closeout papers and do some more paperwork for him, because he wants to see, payroll and stubs and
We have literally already done it.
more.
But the state doesn't have access to the federal portal.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just,
Just holding up some more hoops for you to jump through.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Lance and I stopped down again last, Saturday night and looked at the bridge. They've got one more pour, looks like, on the south side before they're done. The north side, they had quite a crew in there today, by the looks.
Oh, good.
I think they might be ready to pour that maybe end of the week.
Okay.
So that would just leave that other piece on the other side. But he said Richard stopped there on the way up through. Richard Hoskins, the state emergency management guy. And he thinks we should file for an extension. I told Lance, let's give Blow and Cody, you know, we'd have to do it by the middle of August.
Okay.
So if we give them 1st of August, end of the first week,
Yeah.
we'll have plenty of time to call Kim and get another extension.
It's only 2 weeks away, Mac.
Yeah, well, I know, but.
But
Well,
those
plus I'll talk to, but after that, it's another, 4 to 5 weeks after the first week of August before the deadline.
Yeah.
But
So it's a prefab bridge, so I mean, once the
really.
concrete's set, it's
Not really.
not really, okay,
It's not a prefab bridge, and the
The
beams are
superstructure-
separate and it's built up from there.
okay.
the superstructure sits on top of the walls, and it's still got a backfill and everything, and cure,
Okay,
so. The only thing that was different was if they go by, is it by September 15th? They'd have to, the A&R permit's gonna run out, but they're not gonna be in the brook anymore.
As long as they're done with the head walls, all the concrete work's done, they're not gonna be down the hole anymore.
So that would not be an issue,
and you're anticipating that in the next week or two?
yeah.
Okay.
At the rate they've been going,
As I say,
I'm hoping, but I'm not very confident at this point.
Okay.
right,
What does it take to file the extension?
It's not that,
Just a call, or?
it's just, it puts it off again. This is the second extension. This one we're talking about would be the third extension for this job.
Okay,
yeah, and Tyler's the one that stopped and talked to them, and he said, they said, give me the 1st of September, and Tyler told him, give us the 15th. That way, they gives them an extra 2 weeks, so. And Tyler was fairly comfortable with it, but
okay,
you never know with weather. I mean, that's,
absolutely, yeah,
that's quite a hole down there.
yep.
I mean, that,
Have you been down there and
I
looked at it?
haven't, I've wanted to
if
stop.
that thing ever plugs up, there's gonna be half the town.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
not,
it's crazy,
yep,
but,
okay, I mean, we've gone with your judgment on this since the storm happened, so I'm gonna continue to have faith in you and just keep rolling with it.
we'll give it another week or two, and that still gives
Yep.
us 3 weeks at least to get the extension filed, and the last time we did it, Kim had it done by the end of the day, I think it was.
Okay. Alright, if you're comfortable with it, I am.
But yeah, I mean, this is what Mac and I had discussed. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to get together and do a little paperwork in the meantime, but that's,
yeah, it's gonna be yeah.
And you can't get your documentation back from the feds?
you can get it off the portal, but Richard
They
said.
don't want what we submitted. They want the original hand scratching. They want.
Yeah. And it's all right there, it's all.
Yeah, it's there. It's just
It's not a hard time to get it here,
we just didn't expect to have to go through all that again.
again,
Yep.
but.
Anyway,
Thank you to
Yeah.
the state of Vermont.
Exactly.
Okay, it sounds like you guys got a foot on that, you know where you're going, so
straight to hell.
I'll let you keep heading that way. Any others on roads? Anything here?
Matt, grader, cedar?
You're good.
Equipment?
Cedar, I called the day after I was here. They're having a hard time with Honda motors. I could get a Kohler motor, 7 horse instead of a 9, or 9 horse instead of an 11. I think I'd rather wait for the Honda. I talked to the girl from NRCP, or Northwest Regional Planning, whatever they are. They had a meeting, they're doing the erosion thing right now.
Mhm.
Had a meeting with them last Thursday. Talked to her about it briefly. She talked to Bethany. Bethany sent me a thing saying, what's up with this? And she didn't realize that I talked to Linda, so everything is still good there. We're still got plenty of time, but he's saying, he's thinking probably by the end of the month, you know, they should be seeing it.
Today's the 25th.
Okay, maybe it's some,
But the
And the
only
next
trouble
one
is
2 weeks
with
ago too. they-
because on this report
that's
are
true.
going to be some issues that have to be taken care of in 2022.
Yeah,
So
and the only place they're looking is the places that are connected. So
hydraulically connected.
anything is not, they don't care about.
Okay.
And class 4, unless it's got a foot deep rut, they're not worried about it.
They're not
at the
worried.
moment.
Okay.
What's your other thing? Grader. Grader, I've got a price from Caterpillar, I've got a price from Case. The John Deere guy has sent me a price on a 2015 772 GP. He has not got back to me on the price with the new one yet, which would be a 672, because 672 apparently is
Equivalent.
at least,
Built.
it's bigger than this by
Yeah.
a long shot. and it's equivalent to what Cat and Case are quoting me. He's also trying though to get, they've got rentals, government rentals out. 80% of the price for the lease comes off, 80%, I think it's 80%, comes off the top, okay? So if it's 400,000, say, and they rent it for 4 weeks at $12,000 a week, is what I was told now.
There you go.
So I mean, you'd get
80% of that 48,000 comes right off the top.
right off the top. And
Nice.
he said that if you can get a good, like a year old or, you know, a couple years old, they had just had a price increase and everybody had a price increase, that they're talking 3%.
Yep.
And he said,
That's across the bar on all equipment.
and when you're talking 3%, he said on a piece of equipment, that
Yeah.
kind of money, which is,
Substantial.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So he says you're better off if you can get a returning lease, but
Okay.
the option is still there to go.
Can you give a ballpark on the new prices?
Without a trade, you're looking just a little, you know, 330.
Okay.
That's with a bulldozer blade and a wing,
And a wing. A wing.
and I want to say the scar fire is included, but I don't think we asked them for that.
The what? Sorry.
The ripper.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The only thing we ever used that thing for is ripping stones out of the road.
Okay.
Which if you catch it with the corner of the blade is real quick.
Okay.
They don't make a 13 footer anymore. Case does, so it'd be a 14-foot blade. Other than that.
Okay. And is there, or would they be willing to price a boom mower?
We talked to the John Deere guy who sold the town of Enosburg that one.
Yep.
He said it was the biggest mistake he ever made. He said he'd never do it again.
Why?
For the money it costs, and basically it nulls your warranty, basically.
Okay.
Because you're doing something that you're,
It's not really designed for.
yeah.
Okay.
And he said it was well over 50 back then.
Okay.
So,
60
I
to
mean-
70 now.
are you looking?
Recording in progress.
Are you looking at
Hang on. Go ahead.
are you looking at, you know, that price might be a tractor, you know, years down the line?
Yeah. Well, yeah. The
Actually,
school just priced out tractors, and you can buy a 70 horse tractor, 66 to 75 horse tractor right now for just about 40,000.
Yeah,
So, and granted that's 10 years of mowing, but maybe if it has multiple purposes, it may be worth looking
It
We
would
into.
got a
have- it would be
7-foot
something-
flail mower to go off the side for 16,000.
Yeah, and what about one of the
it would be
boom
something that you'd have,
Didn't price those, I was looking for myself.
the town would have it, and they could do it when they wanted and as
Right.
often as they wanted.
Yep.
You know,
So yeah, there's definitely some options we need to look at here.
I did not ask Case or Cat about,
I was just curious if, I mean, asking John Deere, they know what we were looking at or what we were thinking. I was thinking. So
yeah, yeah.
okay.
That also involved, I'm pretty sure he said putting a different hydraulic pump on
Yep.
with a separate hydraulic tank, and it was quite the plumbing nightmare.
So they must have had to run a PTO system and everything to run the pump. Okay. All right. No, that's telling us it's not worth it. It's just as valuable as saying,
Right.
yeah, do it. You know, I mean, it shoots us one way or the other. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and that $70,000 plus or minus would buy a tractor
And
and a flail mower,
Yeah.
or maybe even a boom mower.
maybe
Yeah.
even a boom mower.
Yeah, because the new boom mowers, the one I saw with the state is a lot lighter than like what we had. I mean, and it's got a lot further reach, and I don't think they need the horsepower.
And they're not brush hog either, they're flails too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Those flails the state has now do a nice job.
yeah. Okay. They just get out a little further and get some more of that harshness.
It's gonna take over the world.
Yeah.
Any other questions on roads?
Who were you talking to that said that it was a waste of money?
John Deere.
John Deere, United
United
Ag and Turf,
United Ag and Turf.
John Deere, basically.
AKA John Deere.
Name du jour.
Nothing else? John?
Off the top of my head, I mean,
Nothing here?
Good.
something had popped in my head, but I forgot what it was.
There was a minor complaint on Lawyer Road.
Slow down.
No, it's not, it wasn't from me.
Oh, okay.
Mac and I went up and looked at it,
Take care.
taken care of.
Okay.
There is some wash on, Witch Cat.
Oh, yeah. Half,
There's some wash all over.
yeah.
This was like, you can't go over there.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Yeah, it was down from John's, I think.
is it from today or?
Might have been.
Because today, about 12 o'clock, we
Yeah.
probably got an inch in about 15
Going
minutes. But I went over the pit and there was nothing over there.
Yeah.
Mark was still screaming.
It washed out some of the gravel that I put in my driveway. It washed my driveway out. So.
I
Yeah.
don't care about your
Well, no, I'm just saying that that's pretty hard packed. So some of the soft shoulders might have.
Some of that new gravel.
Some of that new gravel might have moved.
I bet.
All right. Thank you, Matt.
I'll keep that back.
Keep thinking. If you think of it, raise your hand. We'll call on you.
This is where they, oh, yeah, one other thing was.
You can push the button.
Yeah.
There you go.
One other thing was at the last meeting, Linda asked about the stone trucking it in.
Yep.
Dan brought the load of fines for the circle and whatever they're gonna do out here last Thursday, I think, or Wednesday.
Yep.
And then today he brought the 2 loads for the lower loop,
Excellent.
so they're down there now, so
Perfect.
that did get done.
As I say, she's scheduled to talk next. So.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So, John, you have control over there, where you can get
Linda,
Linda.
you're good if you want to mute.
Okay.
Go.
First off, thank you to Mac and the crew for trucking that stone. That was a big help for us. And we got some of that fine stone around the flower bed and it really sets it off. And then going back to the minutes, I apologize. I just looked at those. And where we're talking about James Stone's name being on the monument,
Yep.
it should indicate on there that the authority for that is that DD 214. And that's a record that the town should maintain for the names that go on to that monument. Because like Lance said, you don't want people just walking in and say, hey, I live in Bakersfield now and I served in such and such a war. I want my name on that monument. Because it has to be their home of record.
Okay.
Needs to be Bakersfield when they served on active duty.
Now, Linda, the DD 214, is that something that's
That's something that I sent to each one of you as an
Okay.
attachment.
okay,
Okay, and that's a official Department of Defense document.
right?
If you ever have to get those names, you can get them from the Department of Defense just by asking those specific questions.
That was
You
the
know.
question I was gonna ask.
Yes, you know, who had a Bakersfield home of record at the time they served in wartime and honorable service, and they'd send you a list of names.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
You are welcome.
And that's Linda.
What's your question?
Linda, that's B as in.
No.
No,
D Delta Delta dash 214 214.
Dog 214?
Dog Delta Delta. Department of Defense.
Okay, that works.
Yeah. Excellent. And I have that I can forward you because she sent it as an
I
attachment.
don't really need it. I mean, I just,
Okay.
as long as you guys have it and it's in the minutes that you have it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Let's see, do we have?
Can we scratch roadside mowing off of that list?
Yes. Tammy, can we remove under
Roadside
board,
mowing,
yep, board business,
Yep,
section E?
that can be removed. I believe you guys can do the external audits.
Yeah, we still haven't,
That ended a while ago.
yep. so external audits can be removed. Alright,
Did we
Review.
choose one?
what's that?
Did we choose? one?
No, we have the ones we've got, and we just have to hire somebody higher out of that list.
I was gonna say, I don't recall.
No, we did not choose one. We
No,
just,
no.
By what time
I believe,
do you think we should make a decision on that? That's gotta be for next year.
correct. In the books, well, the books won't close.
You might wanna let them know.
Yep.
Before they say, oops, we're booked.
We have the fiscal year, so the books close December 31st.
Correct. So we would need to hire and schedule probably before November.
Coming up quick.
It is. Alright, reviewing the mail. We have the custodial. I can't remember, when did we say we closed that? Is that end of the month?
It closed today at noon.
Today at noon?
Yep.
Okay, perfect, there we go. So we have two that I see. And
Actually.
yes, I know, I was getting ready to, and one of them has called and, is no longer interested. So, that leaves us Catherine Young. She has a letter of recommendation from Heather Jewett. And I think the next step would be to invite her to the next select board meeting.
So that's the only one?
Yeah, we had two, but this
Oh,
one,
yeah, all right, I'm sorry.
yep, that one decided, well, no, that's all one. Yeah,
Nice. I agree.
so if we can, send an invitation to Catherine Young, her email and telephone number is on the letter here,
Okay.
to come in and, interview and discuss hours,
Cleaning up that calculator.
Hours and wage.
hours and wage.
Wage says
Absolutely.
$20 in the paper,
Okay.
cause that's what we were paying the one. And honestly, if you can get her to do it for 20, you're doing good. Cause private cleaners are getting 35.
Are you muted?
Sorry.
That's fine. Alright. So yeah, we'll just get that down to her. The next one is American Red Cross. Committed to preventing, sure on behalf of all the staff, Bakersfield, parents, community. We look forward to working with you. Contact information form for municipal funding requests. So they would like our information so they can send us a request letter like they do every year. That's,
Where are you? Requesting?
American Red Cross,
Oh,
Your
okay.
mail.
Okay.
new mail, yes. Right, cause we had them on the list of people that we,
Well, we weren't receiving any requests from, were we?
yeah, I believe it's on the,
Is that for town meeting next year?
that's the one that we put in with all the, like the Cat Crusaders and all the other.
We can start an envelope for next year.
Yep, I think, well, this one, they would like a return of the information on the second page mailed back to them so that they can make sure that they're sending the request to the correct location, I believe. That page.
Yep.
American Red Cross. Okay.
Number G, or letter G.
Letter G.
Yep.
So Tammy, if I can give this to you.
That just gets filled out and go back.
Just filled out and mailed back so that they can have the correct
Thanks, man.
information. And that is all I have for new mail, applications. Do we wanna go to C or do we wanna skip that now and come back? I don't care either way.
We can move H off of that board business. as well.
Yep, H can be moved because they were supposed to be here, they did not show up.
Well, that's just a continue.
Right, no, we're just saying that we can take
Tonight,
that,
for
yeah,
tonight,
tonight.
right. But I'm taking roadside mowing off totally,
Yep,
okay,
same thing with I, we're not gonna discuss that tonight either.
got it,
Town furnace replacement.
right.
We're not gonna discuss F, which is East Bakersfield Culvert Project.
Nothing to discuss on it right now.
So basically that leaves, Brigham Academy update, do you have one? Is there, there is.
Brigham Academy, they were here last Tuesday. And they did the test pits. I'll start with the good news. They did 4 test pits on Brigham Lawn. It took them about an hour. They were cleaned up and gone in less than 2 hours. As expected, the soil is perfect for a conventional system. So, and the bad news is they found the septic tanks.
Really?
Yeah,
Found septic tanks?
Yes.
right.
Okay.
They're not where they're supposed to be. And of course, they're on the supervisory union's property. Which wasn't an issue 30 some odd years ago, 40 years ago. Oh my God.
Was it that long?
Yeah.
When the building was built, sorry.
Before then, actually, because when the addition was put on for the bathrooms, that is at the time period when the septic tanks have been put in, and the town of Bakersfield owned the property where the elementary school is and the property where Brigham is. So, you know, what difference does it make where the tank went?
Were those cast concrete tanks?
Yes, they look to be, well, back then, they would be an S.T. Griswold tank.
What's the shelf life of those?
They haven't been used for 30 years. Shot back. So
Still viable.
they're still viable. As the engineer put, they are an asset. And they shouldn't be filled in or destroyed.
Are they gonna be covered by the new pavement?
Yes. And I suggested at the time that they should put a frame and lid, or 3 frames and lids on 2 for the septic tank and 1 for the pump station, and pave around them. That way you'd have permanent access.
So in, not to interrupt you.
No, you've talked with Vern since I have.
But, so what they're going to do, Justin, I believe is the guy that was in charge of the project over there. He is going to take, measurements off the corner of the buildings,
Located.
locate the lids, and he said to do what we were saying, you know, put the lip on there and pave over to that.
Mm-hmm.
He said that would be, he said that would not be as easy as we think because of the shallow depth that they are below the pavement. You know, because the collars are like 3 inches, and he's figured
a medium load framing lid. You might be able to get one that's 3 inches. Generally, they're more.
Yeah, so he didn't figure he was gonna be able to get something low profile enough because of how high those tanks are. So his recommendation, or what he's gonna do, because he doesn't really have any other options, is he's gonna take measurements to those points, and when
He's just going to pave over them.
he's gonna pave over them, and when we need those, he said, cut a 2x2 square, do what you need to do, and then he goes, that's, and Vern said, that's what we're gonna do at this point, so.
You know, Vern's acting as if he owns that property. I don't recall the town of Bakersfield getting any funds from the supervisory union to purchase that property or that building. This town built that building with its own funds. This town took out a loan and paid it off to build that building. The supervisory union hasn't put in one damn penny.
I agree.
And when they come around and talk about my building, I have about all I can do to keep my temper. Sorry,
It's,
that just slipped out.
I don't foresee any other options. I don't know if it's how they came to own the property, but long and the short of it is, we don't really have any other options.
He should also take measurements to the inlet and the outlet, so
he said he was gonna take measurements on everything there that would be of importance, because he was like, when I went over and talked to him, he said, you know, he goes, I understand, he goes, I know what it would cost to replace those tanks. Yeah, so they might have value. He goes, you're gonna have to dig up a lot of stuff when you go to use them, because you're gonna have to replace the inlet, you're gonna have to replace the outlet, you're gonna have to bury conduit. He goes, basically, you're probably gonna dig up that whole section, and you're gonna have to repave that whole section right there. So he understands that,
Yeah.
and he's kind of in the same boat we are, or not we are, but he doesn't care one way or the other. He's just the contractor, and he's trying to do it.
I understood, it's not his fault.
No, exactly. So he's trying to do it not necessarily the easiest way, because the easiest way for him would have been to pecker them down in and fill it in.
Absolutely.
But he's trying to do it cost effectively.
But to put an H20 wheel load frame and lid there, somebody's gonna have to face that problem, and if you put it off till later, it's gonna be more expensive.
You mean cutting it up? Excuse me.
Cut, and you're still gonna have to buy the frame and lid, and you're still gonna have the same problem. Can't get a frame and lid that's short enough.
Right. So you're gonna have a raised position there.
Yeah. And at that point, it's gonna be Town Bakersfield's problem.
I think whose problem is it at this point? I think it's still our problem at this point.
It's still our problem. It's gonna be more expensive to take care of it later. That's why I advocated to put a frame and lid there.
We're out of my professional area.
There isn't much cover there.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be easy.
I think he said there's less than 2 inches.
so it looked like it was blacktop.
I don't know how big those plugs are. The only alternative that I could possibly think of is they sell a reversible frame and lid. Okay? So instead of, they're only about that high,
Yeah.
which is still too high.
Right.
But if you're gonna have to measure, take a plug out. Those plugs tapered down to 24 inches.
Right.
So the top is more than 24. It would have to be close to 25 and a half to make it work, but you might possibly take that reversible frame and lid, flip it over, drop the narrow end down and put it on top, and only end up that much sticking up.
Yeah.
Lance, it's gonna be a moot point if they pave over it, like within the next 5 days or 6 days.
No, because these reversible frame and lids are available.
Okay.
Camp Precast, SD Ireland, both carry them in stock.
You got a recommendation then that we could put forward?
I would like someone to research that. They'd have to pull the plug out and measure. It's a real quick, pull the plug out, what's the inside diameter at the top of that hole?
And then it drops down in, and so how much recess is the lid itself?
The lid itself is a little over an inch thick,
Okay.
and then it has gussets that go toward a ring about this big around. So it has cast iron gussets that go in.
That's for strength?
Yes, yeah. I mean, there are different styles. And because of the trouble we've been having with the kids, there probably has to be a bolted frame and lid.
Right.
They have five-sided bolts and a special wrench to take them off. I could just see
Somebody down in the hole.
That would be the last time.
Yeah.
and it might be easier for us to just face that problem somewhere down the line. That option still exists later.
It does.
Yes.
How much are those lids you're talking about?
I have no idea. I've been out of the business for
Okay.
over 3 years,
We talked
over
about
3 years, and I wouldn't say, I bet you there's $600 each. There's 3 of them.
There's 3 covers on that. I was wondering.
2 on the septic and 1 on the pump station.
Okay. I wasn't paying that close of attention, I guess.
I would.
Right, but like the contractor said, you're gonna have to dig the whole thing in anyway to redo your input, your inlet, redo your outlet, add conduit.
You're
He
correct.
said there's no pump in there.
You're correct. It's a moot point. Yeah,
Right.
you are absolutely right.
So I mean, at this point, if they pave over it, if there was risers in there, they're just gonna end up tearing those up.
Yeah.
You know, because, well, let's face it,
No,
excavator
you
guy
are.
knows they're gonna have to replace it.
You
They're
are
just gonna
correct. They
tear
will
it
have to
down.
replace the pipe because they can't reuse the pipe.
Right,
I just somehow wasn't really thinking about it. That pipe's already there. They could just connect into it. But you know, that pipe's old enough. There's no freaking way.
that was cast pipe.
Cast iron.
Yeah, so I mean, I doubt they'd be able to even reuse that. They'd have to sleeve it or something, I'm sure.
No, they'll dig it all up.
Well, right, but I'm saying if they were gonna try to reuse it, well, they couldn't even reuse it because the vent, they smashed the vent off when they were digging before they knew that was there. It goes
Where did it vent to?
nowhere.
They cut it off and gravel over it.
No, right there, on the inlet side,
Mm-hmm.
there was, where it comes around that corner, that was a sweeping T. And it went to another T that was a vent. And when he was digging, before they hit the tanks, I guess, he popped that second T off. So it was a sweep from the school into the tank, and then that went up, and that one.
They don't do that anymore. They vented all the way back.
Yeah,
Because the
building.
pump station needs the vent. That's the one that has a big volume difference. Because when it pumps down,
Well, this tanks also weren't in the correct location either, so I mean, there's a lot of things that are a little
and
off.
by the way,
on
where
it.
is the leach field?
Yes, exactly.
Alright,
All right.
can we agree that we're kicking that down the road?
Kick it.
Kick it down the road.
Sounds good.
We've had our discussion about it. I'm convinced. Kick it down the road. I was the last one to. I was the last holdout.
You were the holdout, I know, I'm sorry. Alright, so set municipal tax rate. Bear with me, this is only the second one of these I've done. And we only do them once a year, so I'll probably look to you for some help. So we have, based off of what is been voted in, set the municipal tax rate for the town of Bakersfield at homestead tax rate.
That's the one the state sets.
Okay, so this was all set by the state. No. This one's us, no. This one's us, right?
Should be around 0.5 something.
That was last year's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're here this year.
0.6. Sorry.
Somebody said that went down. That's up.
Overall, it's
Overall, yes, overall, the homestead tax and the non-homestead taxes are both down.
Yep.
Our town rate is set at 0.6081. Municipal tax rate, that is this one right here. I just gotta make sure I put this in the right spot, because I put it in the wrong spot last year. Point.
She made you come back and do it again, didn't she?
Yes. 6081, which is up. Oh, what is that up? Can you do the quick on that?
0.60
Correct.
minus 5707 with a difference of 0.0374.
So we're up 3 3/4 cents per hundred,
per thousand.
per thousand. Per hundred. That's per hundred. Pretty sure.
If you say so.
No? Alright. The state of Vermont has set a tax rate for the schools at 1.6515 for non-homesteaders. And
1.6515.
1.5 and 1.3806 for homesteads.
1.3806
And
and 1.6515.
yes,
For non-homestead.
for non-homesteaders.
1.651.
So a tax rate of, for non-residential, for Bakersfield, will be 2.2596 and 1.9887 for homestead.
Just to confuse you, what was it last year for homesteaders? So-
Homesteaders last year was 2.3035.
So it went down.
Yes.
There you go.
Is the municipal tax rate the same for homestead and non-homestead?
Yes.
Yes.
So that one's the same. It's just
That is-
school.
that
Point
is-
6081.
Yep. So the, do you wanna do the total?
The homestead tax rate total will be 1.9887. And for the non-homestead tax rate will be 2.2596. Correct?
I guess.
I was following along when you were doing
So
it.
the municipal tax rate this year is 0.6081.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
This part always makes me nervous because if I screw this up and it's recorded, then somebody's gonna be like, well, that's not what he said.
I'm following with the numbers.
Okay.
It works.
So, are we all in agreement on the tax rate that was set by our treasurer based off of everything that was voted in at the select board, at the town meeting?
One question first. What was the grand list for this year?
Grand list for the town, 1.202167.
1.202.
So right,
That's 1.2,
Yeah.
$1,202,167,
correct.
which is slightly up from Last year.
$167.
last year's was $1,190,882.
So yes.
Sorry, I interrupted you, sir.
No, you're fine. If we're in agreement with that, we can sign the paper.
Do you have to take a motion for that?
Do we need a motion for that?
We
That
need a
was
motion to accept the
The tax rate?
tax rates.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lance.
I make a motion that we accept the tax rates of homestead tax rate of 1.9887 and for the non-homestead tax rate of 2.2596 and a municipal tax rate of 0.6081 for the fiscal year of 2022.
So you said the total tax rate?
Are your municipal,
And
yeah,
then
you're in
Yeah.
municipal and, yeah.
So we actually only have the opportunity to set the municipal rate. We
Right.
are given
But you just
The
spoke,
homestead rates by the state of Vermont, and we have no choice about those.
but you just spoke the total non-homestead and the total.
I did.
Perfect.
Yes.
That
Just
was
wanna
here.
get the motion right.
Yep.
If those numbers are correct, Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded, seconded with the correct tax rates. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright. There's 2 places to sign.
Should there be more places than that?
No, this one is good. I'm just saying you need to sign it twice.
You have to say it.
Yes,
There you go.
there's the correct spaces allotted. There's just. That's all this is about too. Yeah. Fingers don't work. If I can get you to sign. Oh, see, when I said there's 2 places to sign, that means you have to sign it in
2 places, goodness gracious. I've been schooled. Good thing
There's
you're
2.
part of the school system.
Yeah, you counted twice. Well, that's being signed. I do not see any others on there unless John has some.
I have 2.
All right, I like it, John.
This will be easy though.
No, hey, this means you're out there, you're listening to people, you're getting the information, you're bringing back concerns. I like it. Bring it to us.
When are you gonna open the extra audits
The what?
When are we gonna open it? For what?
to decide what you wanna do?
Open the what?
We don't even have them. You've got them. I don't want them right now. We'll do that next meeting. Put it on the agenda for next meeting.
Oh.
It's on the agenda every meeting.
We'll move it up into a prioritized area.
Right. So,
Cause the next meeting is the middle of August, if you want to hire them by September.
Is that valid
They're-
until it's signed by Terry?
They only have time enough to do so many jobs, and they're filling those positions now.
Right, I
That's
agree.
what I mean. You might not wanna wait, I don't know. You don't know?
No, we do not.
You don't want
Do we want them right now?
Put it on the agenda for next meeting and move it up.
It's on
To
every
A.
meeting.
Move it up to A.
Move it up to A.
Yeah.
so the first other is that the coding group, the testers, wanted me to thank you for allowing them to use the building. 2 Saturdays ago, the test went well, and they said that they just wanted to pass on their thanks to the town.
Perfect.
Second other is COVID tests. I was following up. There they are. There's 2 cases of them over there. They are, yeah, well, apparently the least you could order was over 200 of them. That was the smallest number, so there they go. They
And
said,
they're free.
and they're free. So if anybody in the town needs a COVID test, they could stop here and come by and pick up a COVID test. There's boxes and boxes, there's like 8 per box, so we can either split them and give a couple to them or whatever the distribution amount will be.
What kind of tests are they, John, and is there an expiration date?
It's a rapid response test that takes 10 minutes to test. I haven't really looked at them, someone opened the box, I just peered in while I was setting up for the meeting.
Okay.
Because there were several different ones they were gonna send. But yeah, I mean, by all means, anybody in the town can stop by and grab a couple. You know.
The reason I ask is we just got the ones from the government. You
Yeah.
know, we send them the ones, and they expire next month.
These actually have expired in the end of June.
These have.
These have. I got a call into, or will be making a call into the Department of Health, saying what is the actual shelf life of
Right.
these.
Okay.
To clarify, otherwise,
So they did expire already? Nice.
they sent us expired.
No wonder they came
That's why
200
they're
a
free.
crack. 200 a crack. Here you go.
So I will
Okay.
check, I will check
So-
on that and report.
Just to clarify, the tests are technically expired, and I say technically because, as most of us know, even because the expiration date on a gallon of milk is today, it's still drinkable. So we're gonna get clarification from the Department of Health on the actual shelf life of these tests. But if you or anybody you know is in need of a test, come up to the town clerk and we can help you out there. So, thank you, John, for that.
But it's not like a jug of milk. You can't open it up and give it a good sniff.
It's true. Well, there is a stick in there that they make you shove up your nose. So
Read that.
yeah, it's close enough, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to entertain a motion.
What's the motion?
Let's adjourn.
All right.
I would second that motion.
Motion to adjourn has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a good night.